I love Animal Crossing as much as the next person, however there are some things that bother me about New Horizons. Most of it is quality of life stuff, but there are some niche things as well. Let's talk about it. The way bags place on the ground and on walls is so weird. Why are they attached to mannequins? Why can't they just hang on a hook or something like hats do when they're placed on the wall, or go standalone like the handheld bags that we got in the 2.0 update? The mannequins look so strange and clunky to me, and it makes me not want to place shoulder bags or backpacks in Happy Home builds or on my island. I do miss the days, however, where we were given mannequins in New Leaf by, I think, Sable or Mabel, one of them, and you could dress them up in an entire outfit. People would use them as stand-ins for like a chef or maybe a front desk receptionist or something if they were doing something creative with their homes in New Leaf, as you couldn't place items outside. Kind of similar to how I like to place gyroids around as little employees at various things on my island. The selection of wall and ceiling items that we have available to us in this game is subpar at best. For example, I would really love just an empty, plain wall shelf that we could slot items onto. We could have a 1-tile one and a 2-tile one, place up to 1 or 2 items on it, and call it a day. I mean, when you place a gyroid on the wall, it has a little shelf holding it up, so why can't we just rip the shelf mesh from that and use it to place our own items from the miscellaneous category? It's already there. I know it would require a lot of coding, but it would make the walls look more cluttered and nicer in my opinion, and then we wouldn't have to resort to using glow-in-the-dark stickers or the same iron wall rack all the time. Also, why don't we have curtains? I would love to be able to place some on the wall in front of the windows. I know that some wallpapers have windows that come with curtains or shades, and you can interact with them by pressing A when you're standing in front of the window to open or close them. But that's not the same thing. We do have the curtain partition, which is an item that came in the 2.0 update, but it takes up half a tile on the floor in front of the window space, and given the fact that we already have small enough rooms as it is, at least for the side rooms in our home, that's precious tile space. We also don't have any cabinetry. The only wall cabinet we have is the simple one, which is nice and versatile, and it can fit a lot of styles. However, it doesn't tile seamlessly together. You'll notice that if you place more than one next to each other, there's a gap. Not a huge deal, but it doesn't look good in my opinion. I want something that's seamless. It would look great in kitchens or an office space, and it could almost look like we have built-ins. While ceiling items were completely new to the game and added in the 2.0 update, we really didn't get a whole lot of them. The category is pretty small. Most of it is lighting, which makes a lot of sense to me, and we do have one ceiling fan. However, I think I would like to see more hanging shelves. We only have the one set. It matches the ironwood set perfectly, and I do like that, and I love that they added a couple of extra swatches, but it's only really useful if you're putting it in a kitchen. Even another vent hood would suffice to put over the oven, as we only have one available. I know I could just go play The Sims if I wanted a larger furniture catalog, but this is not The Sims, this is Animal Crossing, and I don't want to play The Sims. I want to play Animal Crossing. I just want some more furniture. I will also never, ever stop complaining about the fact that we cannot hang anything on partition walls. Nor can we place rugs outside. Unless, of course, you're Sahara at Harv's Island. She's just taunting us, and that's rude. I talked about terraforming in a recent video where I went over some ideas on how to lay out your island and plan things so you're not stuck in a rut. I think that terraforming is a game changer, and I'm glad that we have it. It's something that was never available in any game previously, and it really lends itself well to the sandbox feel of Animal Crossing. However, it could do with a lot of quality of life adjustments. This is Nintendo though, and we all know that they like to do things a little backwards sometimes. In the future, I would like to see a situation similar to how we have it on the Happy Home plots, where you get an overhead view and you can place down pathing and furniture right from the catalog on the side of your screen. Since the plots are fixed and don't allow for the ability to change the cliffs or water, I realize that this isn't fully terraforming. Obviously, you're just adding items and paths on the Happy Home plots, but I feel it could be adjusted for our main island to include cliffs and waterscaping. You can already do this in an online tool that was built with Unity, which I know is not the same thing as coding it into a game. However, I think that it would make it a lot easier to terraform this way. Take our map, break it up into the acres that we already have and make it so you can terraform with a bird's eye view by acre. That way it would make it so the console can handle the processing, ideally, and you wouldn't be spending 5 hours making a cliff. What are some things you don't like about Animal Crossing, specifically with New Horizons? I know a lot of people in the community complain about the lack of personality when it comes to villagers and their dialogue. I do agree with that, and I want to talk about that in a future video because I feel like that's a whole different story. The multiplayer system could also use a big overhaul as well. I feel like it was a lot easier to connect with friends in the New Leaf days when you were on the 3DS. The load times were shorter and there weren't as many glitches with the internet connection. But is there anything you wish that they'd change about the game, no matter how obscure it is? Let me know in the comments down below. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!